today we're going to go over a few quick things. Hitting is a hard thing. It doesn't matter if you're a major leaguer or if you play at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14s. You've got to react to something that's happening very fast. So you got to see, you got to react, and then you got to execute. So one of the things you don't want to think about in a game is how the heck am I going to execute? Where are my hands at? What am I doing? You want to get up there and you want to make sure that you have a certain pattern, things that you do every single time. And you need to practice these at home. It doesn't do you any good to come and take a few swings of batting practice, go to the cage for a half hour. You've got to practice these at home. So when you come to the ballpark, when you have a game, when you have a scrimmage, when it's your turn to go through batting practice, then you're not thinking about everything. There's Coach Trosky. He's also been a major league scout for many years. He's the one that kind of put me on to simplifying this. You know, there's guys that have great swings and there's guys that got terrible swings. And I've seen guys with terrible swings be unbelievable hitters. I've seen guys with great swings be terrible hitters, because you got to have the proper mindset. Are you up there? Are you a hitter? Or are you just a swinger, right? Are you just a slasher throwing the bat around? You can hit the ball as hard as you can when you connect, but can you connect with that ball when it's thrown? Okay, the hardest hitters to hit are what? Slow pitchers, correct? Slow pitchers are hard because you're sitting there waiting on it. Fast pitchers, or the guy they bring in to mow everybody down, usually works pretty good also, because you're short on what you can process and do. So if you're up here thinking you don't have a plan, you're not sure what you're trying to do when you're at bat, and you're worrying about how am I looking, where am I standing, all this other stuff, then you cannot process and execute these things quick enough to be successful. But if you have a pattern, you know what it is, you just come to the plate, you feel it. It doesn't matter if it's a slow pitcher or a fast pitcher, you can be successful whether you got the prettiest swing in the world or the ugliest swing in the world, because you gotta see, process, do. So let's get into this real quick, because I don't want to keep this too long. And I might even put out his video if I can find it and short clip it. Okay, so here are basically the 10 steps that you want to do. So I come and practice at home. Again, when I come up to plate every time, I'm thinking back foot, front foot. I want to reach and make sure my bat can fit to the other side. So measure up. I have to be able to reach that other side of the plate, okay? Then I'm going to check my feet. I'm going to make sure I'm pretty neutral to the pitcher. If I'm wide open or if I'm way closed, then it could be problems, especially for youth batters, right? Try to keep it simple. If you are an adult and you played with the old, if I remember right, Rod Crew, you're wide open, you come in, you know, that's okay for you. But for a youngin' or somebody up to where their swing is well grooved, because their mind's right, you got to have your mind right, then I would do this. So let's start over again. Here we go. Back foot, front foot. Measure up, make sure I can reach the other side of the plate. Check my stance. Rest for a second. All right, now I'm ready in my stance. From there, I'm gonna step, pivot, swing, hold with my chin down, and pivot it up on my back foot, right? Swing as hard as I can. I'm gonna hold, I know where that ball is at, and I've crushed it, so I'm gonna take off, okay? So let's go through that again, okay? Now, when you get in the game, you've done this so many times at home, you've done this so many times on your own, that you shorten that down. You don't think as much, but we'll get into that. So here we go. All right, so we're gonna go back foot, front foot, measure up, make sure I can get to the outside corner of that plate, check my feet, my stance. I'm in my stance, rest for a second. I forgot before, check your hands, make sure you got a good grip. Knuckle to knuckle, right? Your door knockers. You don't want to hold it like this, and you don't want to hold it real hard. Check my hands, then I'm going to step, whether it's large or small, it doesn't have to be big, and I'm going to pivot and swing hard, and I'm going to hold. Chin down, back foot pivoted up, boom, and now I'm off, okay? So one last time, we're going to do it quick. Say it with me while I'm doing it, okay? Stepping into the plate, back foot, front foot, measure up, make sure I can hit the other side of the plate. Check my feet, make sure that I'm neutral, okay? I've gotten into my stance, I rest for a second, check my hands, make sure I got good hands. All right, now I'm looking for that ball. I'm gonna step, I'm gonna pivot, I'm gonna swing hard, hold, make sure my foot's pivoted up. Hold for a second, and then I'm off, okay? So that is 10 quick steps that you can use to help you get better, because you don't want to be thinking when you get up to that plate. Now, quickly, if and when I'm at game or a scrimmage, we're going to shorten that down, okay? So now I'm in a scrimmage or a game. Don't cheat it. When you're at home practicing, do every single step, okay? So here we go. In a game, I'm going to go back foot, front foot. I'm going to measure out, make sure my feet are good. I'm ready. I'm going to step, pivot, swing, hold, and then I'm off. All right? This is Coach Frank. This will help anybody out there. Practice, practice, practice at home. You can do it while watching TV. You can do it with your buddies. Write them down. Keep going over it. Whatever you have to do, it'll help you out. So when you get the bat, you're going to see, you're going to react, and then you're going to execute. And I promise you, you're going to be a better hitter than you were before.